Move forward in our podcast, we want to start locking in with different people, and I'm definitely going to be bringing you different community leaders at a time, because you guys got to be able to hear what's going on with the community and what's going on in their life. But besides that, with that being told, this woman is a mother. This woman is an entrepreneur. This woman is and was a wife. You know, this woman is a writer. This woman is a journalist. This woman is an association president for the Southwest community. I'll let her tell you what community she represents. And on top of that, this woman is also one of the leaders of a new co-op that just started here. And I believe that's the Carter one, right?
Yes.
And on top of all of that, she's a beautiful black woman.
Thank you, Mr. D.
Not a problem. So look, let's get started. I mean,
Yes.
one of the things I want to kind of get into is, and some things I don't even know. I mean, but one of the things I want to get into is growing up. You know, growing up. Talk to me about that. Like, you know, tell me about your childhood. Tell me about your parents. Tell me about your household.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because so much nowadays they talk about, they missing that picture about household. You know what I'm saying? They got all these programs, but nobody's really starting from inside.
Mm-hmm.
But just tell me about, as a child, like, you know, tell me how it was.
So, I grew up in a two-parent home,
Okay.
mom and dad.
Gotcha.
I was blessed where my biological father did not want me. My stepdad stepped in, and so did my uncle. So I'll tell people,
Gotcha.
It was a blessing. Where one didn't, I had two that did.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was raised in the village.
Okay.
The neighbors, grandma, granddad, aunties, uncles. Grades had to be above standard.
Gotcha.
You know, if Baltimore City was 75, I could not bring below a 80,
Okay.
85 home.
They
Or else I
said-
had to
they
deal with
said-
my auntie.
They said speak up a little bit too.
So, or I had to deal with auntie.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know, you had that one aunt who, if you weren't right in school,
Right.
my parents would send me to her.
Ah. Okay.
And I didn't want what she called love.
She that one.
Yeah, she would say, "I'm gonna give you some love." That means you get in the butt with
So we
me. So
say-
I ain't want that.
She that one. All right.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was come home, study, do your homework, do your chores,
I got you.
and that's how I earned my allowance. That
Okay.
was creating that individual in me to teach me responsibility in life.
Okay. Okay.
You just can't have things handed to you. You
Sure.
have to work for it. Dad became, after, I don't know if everybody remembers, but Pantry Pride.
Wow.
When Pantry Pride closed, my dad decided to go into Yellow Cab Company.
Okay.
He owned 3 cabs.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So you've seen entrepreneurship at its fullest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mom was, she was the housewife.
Sure.
She was the mom, the nurturer, she didn't really have to work
Mhm.
because my dad was that man who was the leader, provider, and protector.
Right. But your mother, she did everything.
She did everything.
That's right.
She held us down.
Sure.
Strong woman.
She the lawyer. She the daycare provider.
Yes.
She everything.
Yes.
She the cook.
Yes. She's the one to my dad of, you better get your booty out there and do what need to be done.
That's sure.
And
Absolutely.
he did it. He respected my mom for that.
For sure.
You know, is everybody perfect? No.
Right.
But he had developed he smoked cigars
Okay.
and he had a little drinking
Okay.
habit. But because he knew my mom didn't like it
Gotcha.
and he loved her so much, he stopped.
Wow.
So that's what I was raised up as.
Gotcha.
It's 2 of us. It's me and my sister.
Mhm.
There would have been 5 of us, but my mom, country girl, hard-headed, moved furniture while she pregnant, so she had some losses.
Oh wow. Okay.
But it's
Sorry
okay
about
because
that.
she still stood as a strong black woman. Do what you got to do for your household,
Gotcha.
and that's what I want to follow. You
Okay.
know, I raised my kids the same way.
Gotcha.
To be respectful in public, to have integrity, to have morals, to do what you're supposed to do to be a positive influence to society.
Gotcha.
So that's the way I was raised.
Okay. Okay, but it's crazy because when I say that and I hear you say that, let me ask you a question. As you have been navigating the waters of the world today in society, when you said your mom and your dad had a dynamic where as though your dad decided that he was going to stop something because your mom, he just didn't like the way, I'm assuming, it was affecting your mom.
Mm-hmm.
So have you taken that particular thing with you as you journeyed in life? Like, no, you definitely can stop doing things, or you can do things if you want to do it for the price of love.
Yes.
Is that like something who you are? Like,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Once I'm committed, I'm loyal.
Okay.
That's my strength.
Gotcha.
I'm just coming out of a marriage.
Oh. Okay.
30 years.
30 years.
30 years.
30 years?
30 years. Yes.
And you coming out of it?
Coming out. Yes.
You mean like y'all just trying to work through it?
No.
Or?
Divorced May the 3rd, 2024.
Oh, you fresh.
Yes.
Yo, she's single?
Yes, I am.
Oh, all right, look, all right. Hey, look.
Very much so. I'm ready to start a new chapter.
Okay.
This man, I gave him my all. I put him before God, so to say. You know, when he was an owner-operator, when he came home, I dropped everything to make sure he was taken care of.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
I held the home down. I held the kids down. I held him down.
Right.
You know, when he went out on his little, I guess, off the scale type thing, I was the one that lifted him back up because I knew that was my husband.
Sure.
And I was supposed to stand by him and help him try to fight that addiction.
Sure, absolutely.
Did I interfere when I shouldn't have? Yes, but I took my vows seriously. That's what I mean. When I'm in, I'm loyal, I'm committed. It said for better, for worse, in sickness and health. So I felt the need to hold my husband up as a black woman.
Okay.
You know, I didn't want to see him as another statistic out on the street.
Okay.
You know, so many of our black men are out there and no one's there to support and have their back.
Say that again to them right there so they can understand.
There's so many of our black men out here where they don't have that support or that person to have their back.
Gotcha.
And I just did not want to see him, because after all, he was a good man. Don't get me wrong, when he wasn't, I didn't want for anything.
For sure.
But I got tired of the inconsistency.
Gotcha.
I got tired of feeling, do you really love me? It started becoming a question for me, I want to say the last 10 years. You know, I just felt I should have been a priority. I should have been cherished. I should have been adored. You know, all of that a woman wants. Make me feel safe. Make me feel secure. And once you can't do that for me, then I have to walk away.
And you mean to tell me you was feeling like that for the last 10 years?
The last 10 years, yes. But I hung in there because I got, I have to own up to my part.
Right.
I got comfortable and I got dependent.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have did that. But there was that part of me, you know, you have somebody constantly telling you you're not going to make it without me. It starts mentally
Absolutely.
affecting you physically, emotionally,
I've been there.
until there's that breaking point. And I had my breaking point in 2021.
So when you say, when somebody keeps telling you and you keep getting to, you get to your breaking point, a lot of people don't understand that. So did you have several points that you thought you broke but you just didn't, and then you got to another point and it just went, or was it just all at once?
If I could sit here and tell you how many days I sat in my home and cried, you wouldn't believe it. I was broken, but because of the way I was raised with the strong women in my life, it's you keep going.
Okay.
No matter what, you keep going. You know, as many a days people would see me in public and, hey, Miss Washington, you know, and then wouldn't even know that what I was going through until I just started sharing my story. I kept a lot of it to myself because I felt embarrassed.
Gotcha.
Until I started talking to individuals who were very close to me and saying, you don't have anything to be embarrassed about. If somebody tell you that they're not going through this, they're lying.
Absolutely.
Because we all at some point had a family member who was going through this drug addiction or whatever.
Okay.
But there were many days I sat in my house and I cried. I didn't want my children to see me, but sometimes it's hard not to, because your children know their mom.
Yeah, they know something now.
They know something's wrong, but I still tried to keep that fakeness and just cook breakfast and cook lunch and keep the house clean. But inside, I was hurting.
Right.
And I knew I wanted more, but it was a matter of how can I get out?
How did you?
Well, during COVID, I started seeing, he came home. He was an owner operator. He came home and I just started seeing things at home I wouldn't have saw if he was out on the road because he's not with me.
Gotcha.
He just went back in the street. And at that point, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't.
Right.
And the tension started building.
Gotcha.
And one particular morning, he came home. He was high.
Oh, wow.
And we got into an altercation.
Okay.
He called the police.
Oh, he called the police on you?
He called the police on me.
A
Yes.
grown man
Yes.
called the police on a woman?
Yes.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Yes. So during the altercation, he tripped and hit his head on the wall.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be honest. When he fell, I just said, "Man down, do what you gotta do."
Man down, y'all, man down.
Man down. And all of the years of me holding it in
Right.
came out.
Gotcha.
And we got into an altercation. It was very serious. I'm gonna just say this. At one point, I felt God and my mom grabbed me and say, "Stop," because I was so enraged. He might not have made it.
Gotcha.
So
both of y'all just going at it for no reason.
yes.
Yeah,
Well, he came in that morning and started calling me all kinds of names, and
Gotcha.
because prior to this, I had started saying I want a divorce.
Right. Gotcha.
And he was like, "No, you got to give me time to get myself together." And I'm like, "I gave you 30 years. What more do you want?"
Right.
And that I just couldn't take it anymore. We started fighting, and he called. When we got through, he goes downstairs. He calls the police, and I'm like, "You called the police on me?"
Right.
And some more words were said, and police showed up.
Right.
And he went outside, and I have to give him a stellar award performance.
Oh, wow.
Because he really went there.
So he was acting real.
Yeah, he really went there, so much so they came back in and said, you know, we really weren't here to see what was going on. It's your word against his. And I'm like, well, if I'm telling you what happened and you weren't here, what kind of decision are you trying to make?
Right.
So they stepped outside our home, and when they came back with the zip ties, I already knew I was going down.
Oh, wow.
And
You got locked up?
yeah, they locked me up. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
was
this is serious then.
yes, very, very. But it's okay because that was my wake up to where God said you wouldn't leave when I told you to leave. So now I gotta put you in a situation that'll make you wake up. I need you to wake up now.
So your blessings was coming, but you wasn't recognizing.
No, I wasn't.
Y'all hear that? Our blessings was coming.
Yes,
A lot of you get blessings every day,
yes.
and you just don't be recognizing them. God be talking to you. Don't make him talk to you like a father. Don't do it.
Because when you have to learn to listen and be obedient. He talks to us every day.
Absolutely.
But you're making decisions that don't say God did it.
Right.
Because he's giving you your signs. He's giving you your confirmations.
For sure.
So you got to sit still sometimes and just listen.
I got you.
And if you don't do that, for me, he put me in a situation, I'm sitting in a cell for a couple of hours, you know, and I don't know what's going to happen to me. You know, I don't know if I have to stay until my court date. Are they going to keep me? I don't know until I get the paperwork.
Gotcha.
And one paperwork was 10 years and the other one was 3.
Look, they talking, but I'm gonna just shift this down on you real quick so they don't have to come and interrupt us. Go ahead, keep going. I got you.
So, you know, that right there was my my moment to say, God, if you get me out of this, I'm done with the marriage. I'm hearing you now.
Gotcha.
It shouldn't have went there, but it did.
Right. And you was comfortable with getting out of the marriage?
Not really, because I can't work 100%. So it's financial.
So why can't you work?
I was diagnosed with a degenerative disc disease. It's permanent.
Oh wow.
And this comes from years of driving buses. That was my profession.
Oh, you drove the big boys.
I drove, yes.
Oh,
CDL.
stop playing.
Yeah. Started out at with MTA.
Okay.
I did a couple of years there. I injured my knee. Tore my ACL. So it was hard. Yes. I came out in the yard one morning and running my mouth to the other co-workers, not paying attention. There was some oil on the floor and slipped. And this was...
So even though they didn't get it up, and technically it's their fault.
Yes.
You still like, I ain't paying attention, it's my fault. Damn.
Just,
all right, go ahead, keep going.
Just
you got a loving spirit, baby. Go ahead.
Just, you know, looking up like, what happened?
Right.
You know, I'm trying to get up.
Right.
My supervisor's like, no, you stay.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I got, not realizing that the damage I had caused, I really could not get up.
Wow.
They had to call the paramedics in and take me to the emergency room and everything.
Wow.
All on my mind was, because at this time I had my daughter, was because I was in school as well. I
Sure.
did MTA in the
Right.
morning. I did college paralegal
Okay.
in between my break, and then I went back to work because it was a split shift.
Okay.
All I'm thinking is I got to get to school this particular day because I got an exam, so I can get home and get my daughter and do what I need to do as a mom.
For sure.
Right? All of that was kind of, for a minute,
Okay.
just disrupted.
Okay.
But it's they say distraction.
For sure.
But we got to learn how to overlook those distractions and keep going.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did that. And this is where he told me I didn't have to go back to work. Now, I'm not going to lie. Well, woman, you know, you tell me I ain't got to go back to work.
Right.
I'm not going back to work.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was a stay-at-home mom.
I got you.
You know, kids, homework, go to the park, that type stuff.
Got you.
Then I got tired of sitting home.
Okay.
I shifted from driving local bus
Okay.
to motor coach.
Okay.
Way better. I loved it.
Oh wow.
I love motor coach.
Okay. Okay.
Enjoyed it so much. The particular company I was with at the time, they had the Ravens contract, so I got to experience a lot.
Gotcha.
This is when Deion Sanders was playing for the
Oh,
Ravens.
it's back in the day.
Back in the day.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. You know, we go down 295, you know, 'cause that's a lot of money on the buses.
Absolutely.
We got police escort. It's
Right.
like Moses split the Red Sea. Don't stop,
Keep rolling.
keep rolling.
Gotcha.
They cleared the way, come on through.
Gotcha.
So I got to travel a lot with that.
Okay.
But I had to come in because my son was getting older.
Right.
The
right.
kids were, I need to be home.
Okay.
So once again, I took a break from that
Okay.
to come in as a mom full time.
Doing what you're doing.
Do what I do, hold the house down, holding him
Absolutely.
down, everything. So as the kids got older, I was like, well, I need to go back to work because I'm getting bored.
Right.
It's like they didn't need me anymore. They don't need me as much
For sure.
because they're finding themselves.
Okay.
So I went to school bus.
Okay.
I drove up Howard County for
Okay.
quite a few years.
Oh wow.
Loved my babies.
Wow.
Never had a problem out of them. When I left, there were no write-ups, nothing.
Okay.
Because that was the time when I came to the realization of, I'm not gonna lie, kids are kids.
Right.
And I sat there my first week, I was like, I don't like these kids. I don't want to do this.
Right.
But God said, no, I need you here.
Right.
And then it hit me to say, they just want love.
Right.
We don't know what's going on at home.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
We're not with them 24/7.
No, we not.
No, not all parents are bad.
For
You
sure.
know,
Right.
you got parents that don't know how to be parents.
Right.
Then you have parents that they're working 2, 3, 4 jobs to survive.
For sure.
The village is not there for them anymore.
Absolutely.
We dropped the ball.
Right.
So I looked at it as, you know what? I can do this.
Okay.
I can do this. And I start telling my kids, I'm like, I love you.
Right.
And they got so comfortable with me. You know, a lot of people don't understand. Once a child feels that love and they can trust you,
Yep.
they will just about talk to you about anything
For sure. Absolutely.
that they can't talk to their parents or their pastor
For
about.
sure.
And that's all they want out here today.
I got you.
It's not they're bad kids. No, they're not bad kids. They just want love.
Y'all hear that? They not bad kids.
They're not.
They just want love.
They want love. You gotta know, even at some point, parents do get busy.
Right.
They do get overwhelmed.
For sure.
But you need to have that place where the kids can go and feel safe and feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
They need to know that Mr. Diggs or Miss Washington or whoever is there, and they'll listen to me and not judge me,
Absolutely.
but they'll kind of guide me once I talk to them.
Okay.
So I left there
Okay.
and went back to motor coach.
Okay.
And that's I love it.
I got
You know, I love the interaction with the people. It's calming when you drive down the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get to see different things. You know, let's not forget that I get to eat free with the group.
Right.
You know, that's always a plus.
That's a good thing.
If it's a multi-day trip, I get a free room,
Oh wow.
and it's usually a suite.
I got it.
So I mean,
Yeah, you like taking it around. You like, hey, might as well.
exactly.
Gotcha.
I have people that love me.
Right.
You know, they just automatically. I'm a people person.
Right.
You know, I get along with anybody.
So I noticed when you say that, and this is almost like a segue because it's great. One of the things, like when I met you, you know what I mean, it's crazy, y'all, because like I'm doing things out of the area. I come back in the area. I'm locking in, and it's this lady going wild on what's the platform we was on? Next door.
I think next door.
Yeah, it was on next door. And she was just going wild. And I was like, I answered her and I said, well, look, this is what we got going on. And she was like, who is you? You don't be telling me what to do. I said, ma'am, I'm not trying to tell you what you do in your community. I'm just saying maybe we can do this in this way. Me and her got into a big disagreement. And she was just like, oh, no, you can see me. And I was like, I can see you? I was like, I said, you know I'm a grown man, right? And she like, I don't care. So I said, all right, meet me such and such. So we met up so we could talk. We fussed each other out, man, about no more than 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I was all kinds of names, she was all kinds of names. And then at the end, she was like, so you just trying to help out the community? And I was like, yeah, I told you that. And she was like, I'm trying to help out the community. And I was like, so then she was like, well, I guess we just need to work together. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And we locked in,
Mm-hmm.
and we just been locked in ever since then.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I take that segue because I'm really curious on understanding. You kept talking about people and the love, and you know you like people, but I'm assuming that you took that same energy because you're a community leader.
I took that same energy because my grandmother raised me. You help people, you don't hurt them.
I got you. I like that. Say that again.
You help people, you don't hurt them.
Okay.
And that's the way I was raised.
Okay.
You know, it was, my grandmother lived in the projects down on McCullough Street.
I'm a color home, baby.
McCullough Homes.
Yes, sir.
And there's nothing like that love and that nurturing
That's
like
right.
grandma.
Absolutely.
You know, my dad, if he was here today, he would tell you, you know, my mother spoiled her till she didn't have good sense. She did.
I know that.
You know, grandma was, if she cooked something and I didn't like it,
Right.
she like, you don't like that, baby girl? And I'm like, no, Grandma. And she would go back in the kitchen and cook me something else.
And that's what I do now.
Yeah, so, you know, we would sit and watch TV together.
Right.
You know, I would sit in her lap, or we just bonded.
I got you.
You know, the projects ain't the best, but I was with Grandma, I didn't care.
It was home.
It was home,
And
you
it was
know.
love.
Did she have a few cousins and stuff? I'm talking about grandchildren.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She
you
had
know,
some critics.
yeah, she had, yeah.
I know about critics.
But on the weekends,
Right.
when I got older, and she was like, you don't have to go home. I don't.
Oh wow.
Oh no, cause see, Dad was, you eat cornflakes for breakfast, so you don't eat nothing.
No, that's right.
Grandma
Now, was it the frosted flakes or was it
no,
regular cornflakes?
it was the regular.
It was the real
the
cornflakes.
real corn.
All right, I got you.
It was the real, and I'm like,
Did he let you put sugar on it?
nope.
No. Oh my goodness. Y'all.
He would put a banana in it for you.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
But you had to sit there until
Gotcha.
and everybody knows you let cornflakes sit too long. Ew.
Yeah, it's like mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Grandma was, every Saturday we went, and I know everybody remember this, downtown to Woolworths
Absolutely.
and ate for lunch.
Absolutely. Got a milkshake.
Yes.
That's right.
And we would get our little stockings for church and little nail polish, because I did hers, she did mine.
Right.
That's the relationship we had.
That's beautiful.
So, and she was my foundation for church,
Oh, okay.
because I was with her on the weekend. You had to go to church.
Absolutely.
On
Absolutely.
Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we had double duty, sometimes we had triple duty.
Right.
That means you had 3-4 services.
Absolutely.
And you didn't go home. That's right. Grandma was the one who, she helped everybody in the community.
Oh,
Even if
okay.
she didn't have, she
Okay.
still helped.
Okay.
Grandma was the one in the court where, when we went out to play,
Right.
she was the one who watched us.
Okay.
And let me be clear, the whole court
Watch.
watched us.
Right.
That's why I mean, at the village. Everywhere I went, the village was involved.
And it's crazy because I'm hearing you talk about this, and it's like people don't even understand. Like we talking about McCullough Homes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all love down there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, and sometimes these places go unlooked,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't think that love exists. And I'm like, no, what is you talking about? It's love. The whole place is full of love. What is y'all talking about?
Yes,
Y'all need to get down there and see what's going on.
we were loved. It's not crazy, but it was just so much.
Right.
We didn't have to worry about going outside and somebody messing with us,
Right. It was
because everybody, the court was out.
It was a community.
Right.
Yeah.
She had one lady on this side of her, Miss Maggie, and this lady on this side, Miss Maggie.
Mm.
This lady on this side was the baker.
Gotcha.
And that was the lady who would, you know, she like, baby girl, you want a cake? Ain't nobody passing up no cake now.
Right.
Homemade cake.
Right.
She would bake me a whole cake.
Right. Not that in-store stuff.
No.
If y'all never had a homemade, I know it was a pound cake.
You
know what I
gotta
mean?
sift
That's
the
right.
flour.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
a cake.
That's a grandma cake.
That's a
You know what
grandma
I'm saying?
cake. The lady on the other side, Miss Maggie, that was my, she was my strong Sojourner Douglas lady.
Okay.
She's chewed tobacco.
Oh wow.
She spit it out,
Gotcha.
but she was firm in her raising of kids.
Okay.
You know, she would talk to you,
Right.
but she was firm with how she talked to you.
Gotcha. She was set. She know
But-
what's up.
On the other hand, when Grandma had to go somewhere, I stayed with her.
Okay.
She had a room full of beautiful porcelain dolls,
Okay.
and that I was allowed to play with those.
Oh wow.
So when I say I was raised by the village,
Okay.
I was protected, I was spoiled. Yes.
All right.
My ex would tell you, she's spoiled,
Gotcha.
and I don't do it in a brat way,
Right.
but I know what I'm worth.
I understand that. Well, let me ask you a question. Now that we talking about, you know, your grandmother, and we talking about how you lived in the community, how did you get to be an association president?
Well,
Because my view is association. We got some people that's association presidents.
mhm,
We have some people that's community leaders.
mhm,
We have some people that's blessed to walk both lanes to be a community leader and association president.
mhm.
But there is a difference between the two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people may be great at one and they're just not great at the other.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you seem to balance both.
Yes.
So how did you get into this?
So when I grew up over Hilton and Sequoia, which
Okay.
was right around the corner from Kurt Smoke.
Absolutely.
Kurt Smoke, Alice Pender Hughes. My block, I had,
That's Ashburton, right?
yes.
Yeah. I know. Look, come on.
I had very influential neighbors, like CIA agents.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what helped raise me.
Gotcha.
So when me and my husband, my ex, decided to buy a house together,
Okay.
I wanted to go out in the county,
Okay.
but I felt my roots was in the city.
Gotcha.
He grew up here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
me being the wife that I am, we'll move in the village.
Okay.
It was not my option, but we'll move in because that's what he wanted.
Now you say you move in the village. What's the village?
The village is I'm in like behind the shopping center up in Emerson Village.
Oh, Emerson Village.
Emerson Village.
So you
yes.
was raised by a village and you move into
to the village. Yes.
That's crazy. All right,
Yes.
I got you.
Yes. So we found the house. He let me pick the house, but he wanted this area.
Okay.
Once we moved in and everything, being a first time homeowner,
Right.
I was excited.
Absolutely.
Now it's how can I be an influence or a positive part of the community?
Okay.
So I wrote a letter down to City Hall,
Okay.
and a couple of days later, this man knocks at my door. And I'm like, all right, who is this?
Gotcha.
Because I'm the type of person, I don't like, don't just come to my house.
I got you.
I need to know you're coming.
For
And
sure.
not because I gotta get the house clean, 'cause I'm always clean, but
Right.
it's just a courtesy thing.
Absolutely.
And he came and knocked on the door, and he said, are you Miss Washington? I said, yes, I'm Miss Washington. And he said, I'm Mr. Carter. I'm
Oh.
the president for the
Okay.
association.
Oh, okay. That Mr. Carter.
Yes.
Oh, wow. He a vet up here, y'all. Y'all just lock in. He's a good man there. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just.
But he was just so welcoming. And we started talking, and I was like, well, do you have a newsletter? Do you have help? He's like, not like you're saying, Miss Washington. So I said, well, I can come in and help.
Right.
So for about a year, he mentored me.
Okay.
After that, I created the newsletter.
Gotcha.
I got the word out more that there was an association in the area,
Okay.
what it could do for you, the benefits of being proactive and participating in an association.
Okay.
It's very, very important that people understand this
Absolutely.
because our communities are changing.
Absolutely.
And you gotta keep somewhat of not a control, but if you're used to your community being clean and the grass maintained and everything, that's where you want it to stay.
That's like the ordinance, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But this is another important thing I use in the community. We gotta remember we all weren't raised alike.
That's true.
So we're here to help each other.
Absolutely.
I'm not out to get you. That's never my intent.
Okay.
My intent is to educate and engage you,
Okay.
to hold you accountable,
Okay.
which equals to change.
Okay.
So that year went by, it was time to vote.
Okay.
And I lie to you not, Ms. Washington's the president. So I've been here since 2007. I bought my house in 2006.
Oh, wow. It's right after. Right after. Okay.
Yes. I took it because I felt obligated. I don't do this for recognition.
Okay.
I don't do this to be seen.
Okay.
I do this because I genuinely care. I live here and I'm invested here.
So that's why sometimes people don't see you then, because you're just working without
Yes.
people knowing, I'm assuming.
I just don't feel I need to boast about what I do.
Okay.
Those that know me,
Okay.
they know what I do.
Absolutely.
And they will refer me to somebody else.
sure.
So no, I don't feel I have to be out here pictures and video. I just don't. That's just not my style.
Okay.
But if you need me, I'm here.
Okay.
I'll help anybody. I'll partner with anybody.
Okay.
We all are passionate about this, but you have to learn how to steer that passion.
I got you.
So if you're steering it in a way that causes negativity,
Okay.
you'll find that you won't get as much of a response the way you want it. Because
Okay.
see, now you've shown me who you are.
Okay.
And if you did that time, you'll do it again. I don't do drama. I don't do it. If I see it, you do you. I'm going back over here.
Okay.
I don't bother people. If you're giving out food or you want to help the youth, do that. Because at the end of the day, one person can't do it. Everybody has a gift.
Right. Right.
And we all got to bring that gift together.
Absolutely.
There are those that I work with. There are those that I won't work with because something has happened that showed me who you really are.
Okay.
You know, I'm very good with discernment.
Gotcha.
And I just don't feel this is a non-paying job.
Right. Oh, you don't get paid for it?
We don't get paid.
Oh, okay.
You know, the only pay I get is feeling good and knowing that I helped someone.
Oh,
That's it.
That's what's up. That's a lot. That's gratitude.
That's it. You know, hearing somebody say, "Thank you, Miss Washington, you helped me." I'm good. I'm good with that.
Oh, cool.
But my goal is for everybody to understand that at some point we gotta it's a lot of personalities and things in this mix. But you gotta learn how to put that to the side to come together to benefit and uplift the community as a whole.
For sure.
When you keep doing this and doing the other, which is being separate and I've heard people say, "Oh, Miss Washington won't work with me," and stuff like that. Like
That's
I
not
said,
true.
I'll work with anybody.
Okay.
I just don't do drama.
Okay.
You know, there's another word I'm learning as I do this. Sometimes you have to learn to be humble.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do.
People may suggest things.
Right.
They're not trying to tell you what to do. They're not trying to take over. They just see something you don't see. So let me just suggest this to you. Maybe you would want to try it.
Gotcha.
And that's just who I am. Like I said, I generally care about people.
So you consider yourself to be a humble person?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right. So let me ask you a question. What's been a defining moment in your community leadership while you've been doing this? Like what's been that pivotal moment that makes you say, "Okay, I'm good at this"? It's got to be something.
The response I get after helping someone.
Okay.
There were many a days I was like, I'm done. I'm walking away.
Okay.
And I'll pray about it.
Okay.
You know, like, God, do you really want me to walk away from this?
Okay.
Because, I have women in my life. I call them my spiritual moms.
Okay.
One has passed on. But the other ones stay in contact with me. They're my spiritual foundation.
Absolutely.
And they've told me for years, your gift is leadership.
Okay.
But I have to learn to not let other people's opinion dictate how I lead.
Okay.
You may not agree with it, but see, I'm not doing this for just you.
For sure.
I'm doing this because God has placed me in this position.
That's your mission.
That's my mission. So I have to listen to Him.
Absolutely.
And there's a way He wants me to do it.
Absolutely. I ain't mad at you.
So those are my moments. And then when, young successful leaders came into play to interact with those youth.
And you say, now what's that?
Young Successful Leaders is a free program. Free. I'm putting that out there. And it's a mentoring program to teach kids how to obtain their own family generational wealth. I've always said this, our kids are our future.
Absolutely.
We can't drop the ball on these babies. We can't do it. The system wants us to drop the ball,
Gotcha.
but we cannot drop the ball on these babies. And to let them express
Yep.
things while they're in class, which is every other Saturday, by the way, up in the village.
Okay.
To hear them participate the way they do, to be opinionated, to hear their voice, that means everything in the world to me, because they have that right. Like I said, we don't know what they're going through at home.
Absolutely.
These kids today have a lot that they have to face we didn't.
Right.
We didn't have to worry about being snatched. We didn't have to worry about child molestation. I mean, it was there, but back then, if a person was even thinking it, they knew the village
Right.
was coming.
Absolutely. We coming for you.
We coming. They knew the family was coming.
That's right.
You know, but we didn't just put our kids outside and let them roam.
Sure. We knew where it was at.
You know, something my dad always said to me when I grew up was, don't nobody in the street love you.
Okay.
And when he said that, it was, you basically can't trust people in the street.
Okay.
They will use you till they can't use you anymore, and then they move on to the next person.
Yeah, sure.
So you gotta be very careful of the streets.
Yes, you do. Streets will eat you up alive, baby.
So where you're not showing this kid this love and this nurturing, the streets are saying, what? Oh, we can give it to you.
Sure.
So that's where they go. So we gotta get a hold of this, you know, drug dealing. When we grew up, the only thing you knew about drug dealer, the clothes he wore, the jewelry in his car.
Right.
He was not hanging on the corner, disrespecting the community. That they didn't do it.
Right.
But now, like I said, these kids today have a lot that they have to deal with.
Sure.
And as adults, our job is to protect these kids.
Yes, we do. We have to.
So when Young Successful Leaders was created and I was asked to come on board
Gotcha.
as the executive secretary, that meant a lot to me.
Gotcha.
To interact with them, to when I called the parents and they're like, Miss Monique, can you talk to so-and-so? Yeah. Because I treat them like they're my own.
Sure.
And that's all they want. So that was my pivotal moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's you know, bringing a tear to my eye, girl. But now, as we think about it, because everybody got to understand, we're gonna come back to Miss Washington a couple times, okay? Because this is just like our session 1, you know, series 1. We got about 4 series that we're gonna try to install, but we're trying to get everything in with this woman that does so many things, and she has so much going on. She can't just do it in one interview, okay? So that's the one thing I wanted to make sure. So you're gonna be available for a couple more series.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be good. And the crazy part is sometimes when I do this, you know, I definitely like to grab you, and you know, if I get a community leader on here, you know, maybe we can get them.
Yes.
You know, so if it's people out there that you know that think you would be good for this, you know, I'm looking for people, you know, that's trying to impact and make that difference in the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, NAACP, House senators,
Mm-hmm.
politicians, you know, like these the ones we got to lock in with them and let them know, like, yo, we need to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about the change, one thing, because you do so much in the community, I just can't get it all in one take, you know. The next one, maybe we just talk about straight with the community.
Okay.
But I needed people to understand you and your journey and how you got here.
Mm-hmm.
But when I talk about that, 2 more things that I want to get to. One is talking about navigating setbacks. You mentioned it earlier a little bit, but like how, if you got people out there right now and they're trying to navigate some setbacks in their life, what kind of suggestion you got for them? Is it to get yourself a group? Did you have a therapist? Like, did you like what you suggest for them? Church? What?
First, you have to own up to and realized that nobody's perfect.
Okay.
We all have a different journey. We all have issues.
So everybody has a role to play, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it was, I can't put it all on my ex of what happened with the marriage.
Okay.
I have to say I allowed it.
Okay.
I allowed that, and I have to own up to that.
Okay.
So what I did when I was able to come back home,
Sure.
because after me being locked up for a couple of hours,
Hey.
I was not able to come back home for 36 days.
Oh, okay.
That's a home I built. I put all my energy into that home to make it a home.
Gotcha.
And to realize I could not come back home for 36 days, to be told that I couldn't leave the state of Maryland. I mean, I was being treated like a real life criminal,
Right.
like a murderer. But this is the way the system is designed. So that was hurtful for me. It took me emotionally through a lot.
Right.
There was one time I couldn't take it. It was overwhelming. And I did. I went to Rite Aid and I bought a couple of bottles of Tylenol.
Oh, no, don't say it, don't say it.
And I bought 2 bottles of wine. And I got in my car and I went and sat in a deserted parking lot. And my out was, to me it was, this is the only way out.
Really?
That's where my mental was.
At that time.
Right.
Gotcha.
I went
Man.
to, it was almost like my mom was calling me. My mom is deceased. She deceased in 2016.
Okay.
I went to her burial site and I just sat there in the car. And I cried and I cried so much I went to sleep.
Oh, wow.
When I woke up, it was a sense of calmness.
Okay.
Like everything had been taken away from me, because now God is like, this is not your battle, it's mine.
So you think your father heard your cries?
Yes, he did. Because like I said, that was my intent. It was my mental was, it was my only way out.
Gotcha.
I had a very close friend who just happened to call me at that time, and it was almost like he could feel it as well.
Gotcha.
And he talked to me and everything, and he was a good support for me during that time.
Gotcha.
He knows who he is, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
Y'all still cool?
Yes.
Okay. That's
I
good.
appreciate him for that. I'm thankful
Sure.
for that.
Gotcha.
I hope he knows that.
Absolutely.
I love him with all my heart for that.
Y'all hear that? You know what I'm saying? We still talking about love, but you also talking about a support system.
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't know me from Adam,
Right.
but when he got to know me,
Right.
he understood me.
Sure.
That's a real friend.
Absolutely.
So when I was able to come back home, by the way, the charges were dropped.
No, that's right.
So that was God's blessing.
Mic dropped, y'all. Charges was dropped.
It was dropped. When I came back home, this man was still trying to downplay my mental. It was as if he did no wrong.
But he don't know you transformed.
Well, when I came back home, I did tell him, I said, the old Monique is gone, this is the new Monique. And I meant that. Because I went through so much in those 36 days. You know, I went from, didn't know where I was going to stay when my son picked me up from Central Booking,
Right.
to being blessed to make a phone call and individual said, I know somebody that's in the hotel industry. Let's see if we can get you a room. Because I was just going to sleep in the car.
Right.
Because I had just adopted a dog. He was my comfort.
Absolutely.
And I didn't want to impose on anybody because he's a big dog.
What's his name?
Zane.
Zane.
I had just adopted him.
Okay.
So me and him got a really good bond.
Gotcha.
And I wanted to be with my dog.
Okay.
So I was able to get a hotel room that I could take him with me.
Okay.
In the course of that, I also met a young lady, one of the youth's mom.
Okay.
We became very close because she became my dog's babysitter.
Oh, okay.
When I couldn't have him with me,
Gotcha.
She said, I'll take him.
Because you literally on the road.
Because she knew,
back and forth.
right, she knew what I was going through.
Right.
So money starts to run out in the hotel. I mean, they got me in there, but I still got to pay something.
For sure.
I got to eat. I still got to maintain the bills that I had.
Right.
So my savings started dwindling.
Absolutely.
So I had to go stay with my cousin for a week. I love her for it, but it was just, when you're used to having your own.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That it was a lot to go through.
Yeah, for sure.
I had to wash my clothes one day, and my sister, I call her my sister. Her name is Jennifer. I've known her since college.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's since 1986.
Wow.
Telling
your age then.
Yeah, that's okay. I look good though. She called me, and I don't like for people to see me cry.
Gotcha.
And I bust out crying.
Oh, wow.
And she said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at the laundromat." "Why are you at the laundromat?" I don't want to impose on anybody.
For sure.
So I went to the laundromat to wash my clothes. So she came, she asked me where was I at. I told her. She came, threw some keys on the table. I was like, "What's this?" "You go to my house until this is over." Now,
Wow.
I just need to say this. This was a young lady who mom had just passed. She was cleaning out her mom's house.
Oh, wow.
She had just bought her house.
Oh, wow.
And I said, "I can't do that." She said, "Yes, you can."
Right.
I said, "No, I can't." And she said, "Yeah, you can, because God wants you there. He needs to talk to you."
Oh, okay.
So I went and got my stuff. I met her there, and she said, "The bedroom is set. There's food in the refrigerator. This is where you are until your court date." And I said, "I can't do that. I don't have anything to pay you." She said, "It's not about payment. It's about my sister needing me, and God is telling me to put you here because he needs to talk to you." So she left.
Wow.
We spent New Year's together because we're both women without our mom.
Okay.
And hers was more recent than mine.
Gotcha.
So I want to, and she's being a support for me, regardless of what I was going through. I felt I need to be that support for her.
Absolutely.
So we spent New Year's together and cooked and laughed, and I drink wine, she don't. I drink her part, but that's okay.
I love wine myself.
I love wine. And
by the way, this is empty because if you're a wine
donations.
If you're a wine holder, we looking for sponsors. Holla at your boy.
There you go. So that was my it was like my wake up.
Okay.
I had a full-fledged grown woman temper tantrum one day.
Oh, wow.
Right in the middle of the living room.
Wow.
This was after I felt that instance was my only way out.
Okay.
I cried and I cried. I mean, I cried. You know how people say we went to do an exorcism.
Right.
And the cry, it was a deep, I had 30 years in me.
Right. You
had to get this out.
Yeah.
So once everything was over, when I came back home, I said, I got to put me in therapy.
Sure.
And I went to my doctor, and I told her, put me in therapy. And she hugged me, because this was a doctor that also, the last 2 years, was on this journey with me.
Oh, okay.
So my health was going down.
Gotcha.
My weight was up.
Okay.
Everything was off the grid with me.
Gotcha.
And she hugged me, and she said, "I'm so proud of you," because most people don't acknowledge when they need help. And there's nothing wrong with it. We need to tap into that inner and say, I need help.
Okay.
So I did 3 sessions.
Okay.
I have it set now to where if I feel the slightest imbalance, and I'm not doing I don't do medication on any of that. I just pray, I do my therapy, and I do the holistic.
Okay.
I change my eating habits.
Absolutely.
I changed my mental.
For sure.
I learned a new word doing this as well.
Oh, okay.
Boundaries.
Absolutely. Say that again.
Boundaries.
Woo.
Where I had a problem telling people no.
Right.
Now,
You got no problem.
no.
That's right.
I don't give no. Because my self-awareness and my mental is more important now.
I got you.
Myself, I'm beginning to step in and realize my self-worth.
So that goes into my next question, though.
Oh, this is right on point, isn't it, Mr. D?
Yeah, it's right on point, because my next question is, what's the new you? What is the action picture and motion picture and drama picture that's coming to your society as we speak?
I don't know if everybody has watched the movie with Taraji P. Henson, Proud Mary.
Oh, absolutely. Proud Mary.
That's the new me.
Oh, okay.
You know, people used to say, here come the pit bull. No, here come the cane corso.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because I know my worth. And I'm not going to let anybody downplay it.
Say it again.
I'm not going to let anybody downplay who the new Monique is.
And that's your worth.
And I'm not, you know, I'm not bitter.
Okay.
That I'm not. I just know who I am now.
Sure.
I'm stepping into the me. No, I don't have to be loud.
Okay.
I don't have to be indignant.
Okay.
But there's a way I can say and do things now that you'll get the message. I'm not the one you want to play with.
Okay. Cool.
And it's not in a bad way. It's just I've been through
So much. Your journey.
You know, with my marriage, family, community. You know, I have people that, for whatever reason, want to come up against me. Whatever, like I said, I work with anybody.
Yeah.
I just don't do drama, and I'm really not going to do it now.
Okay.
So if that's what you choose to do, you stay over there. But I'm gonna keep doing what God wants me to do.
Gotcha. All right, that sounds good, Ms. Washington. I mean, I had to, you know, kind of end with that because when we come back again, we're gonna talk about community.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna talk about that a little more in depth. You know, because I really need to know, like, what's your vision for the community and what's the mission you're trying to achieve in the community. But dude, let me ask you a question though. Is it something that you say to your community, like a motto or something that you do that you're trying to instill with them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I said it earlier.
Oh, what is it?
It's being engaged,
Being engaged,
plus being informed,
being informed,
plus being accountable
being accountable.
equals the